Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast, the people and the stories behind what makes Murfreesboro matter.
Where we get to know the people you need to know in and around the borough. With your hosts,
Marissa Callie
and Missy Lay. Good morning and welcome to another episode of Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. I feel like I need to give a shout out to Noah, Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. So we are on video now. Welcome.
Yes.
Hi.
That means you're watching right now.
Finger guns. So thanks for watching. And now at the end of every episode, I can say, see you later. And you won't be like, that's silly.
Right? Cool.
Awesome. So we're excited to have another episode, but a new episode with some old new friends.
Are we giving the backstory?
We are totally giving the backstory. So last week, these fine gentlemen agreed to be our guinea pigs. And they did a great job. And now they're back for round 2. So we're going to act like we don't know them for your benefit.
Yes. And we did do a whole video podcast, and we realized we had to do it again.
Yeah.
So we're going to pretend like we don't know what's going on, but
which makes us even more excited.
Yeah. Right. So we were joking on the first show about doing a 6-month checkup, but now it's going to be weekly, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to do weekly checkups. So we're so excited to introduce you guys to Grace Concierge Medicine, and we have Jon and Garrison. So we'll let you guys tell us your name and who you are, and then we'll dive into what you do.
I'm Jon. I own Grace Concierge Medicine.
My name's Garrison. I'm one of the co-founders and chief of research and development.
R&D. Okay. And training. Oh, wait,
And
I don't know
training.
that. Just kidding. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay. We can all be friends.
Okay.
It's okay to be friends.
But you said you like pretending you don't know us.
Not in this room.
Oh, okay,
Other
okay.
rooms.
That's in public. Okay, noted.
What, Grace Concierge Medicine, I can kind of guess what that is based on the name. So tell us a little bit about what your business is.
So Grace Concierge Medicine shares the name with my daughter. Hopefully one day she'll grow up and want to do it and not hate me for using her name on my business. But what we are is primarily a tour and film medical company. And so tours and productions, we staff the medics for them. So for the entire length of their filming, audio tour, music tour, concert tour, anything that they're doing for that, we have locally based physicians, and then the medics just go out with them and actually take care of them.
Mm-hmm. That seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It does. But the cool part,
What's the cool
spoiler
part?
alert, Garrison, tell us how you guys met and formed.
Yeah.
So me and Jon met about 10 years ago. We checked into the same unit.
That's all. Did you get that on video?
My feels.
And so
You swiped right.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that how it is? Right or left? I don't know. I've never used that.
I don't know.
We know what you mean.
Swiped. Whatever.
So we met. We actually checked in the same unit, and the unit that I checked into, he was checking out that same day. So we kind of just saw each other in passing, and then fast forward a year or so ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we just had a good conversation about business and just personal development. And he went on tour with Green Day, and he got back home, and he's like, "Hey man, we got to do this." And so he had the tour aspect, and then I was like, "Hey, I was already starting to do my own training stuff. I was already talking about it, trying to get it set up." So we meshed together, and that's where we got our tactical combat casualty care. So teaching basically anybody, including the Department of Defense. So we actually just had a class not too long ago with the United States Navy down in Smyrna at the Reserve Center. So we did that, and then we started bringing on like mobile IVs. So we're going to be launching that hopefully this year. And then that's when we started bringing on all these products and stuff too. So that's all of our training supplies and stuff like that.
Well, one of our fangirls, her name is Kinsey. She's listening. She's probably like, "What do you mean you were checking out of a unit and checking in a unit? Tell us about like what does that mean? Like I know what that means, but what do they mean?"
So we're both in the United States Navy. So we're both Navy corpsmen. John's been in for what? Forever.
Yeah, 18 years now.
Wow.
18 years. So,
Thank you.
And I've been in for about 10. So
Nice.
so yeah.
So
Wow. Well, thank you. And so the cool part to me is that you use that background to find and build your teams.
That's right. That's right. So we based our model on us being in the Navy. We realized that I've operated on people. I've been in combat. We've done a full range of things, right? But our skills do not transfer outside of the Navy. We can go be a medical assistant, which is, that's
And needed and
it's needed,
Yeah.
but it's not to count it as lesser. But compared to what we've done, like I've literally been in an operating room operating on somebody,
Right.
and a medical assistant doesn't do that in the civilian side. So our skills don't transfer, right? So we created basically a family health practice, right? And so we're able to hire on veterans and give them a job afterwards. So
There you go.
by one hiring them, we're going to create already a team, basically, right? Service members know how to be a team.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that from the very beginning, and then actually as veterans come together, I mean, I can spot somebody in a room. I'm like, hey, that guy right there, I think he's in the military, or even I don't even have to say that. I just naturally get drawn to him. I'm sure John does too.
yeah.
And we just start talking, and so that's going to happen, and then veterans are going to be able to talk about their past experiences now, because you only want to share that with a veteran. Yeah,
Right.
I can talk to you about it, but you probably just don't get it, right?
100%.
So by having that, I mean, it still gives me chills, even though I've talked about it a bunch. What if I could bring 22 a day down to 21 a day or 20 a day, just by
Right.
having all these employees that work for us, and then they're able to talk about experiences together.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, civilian medicine doesn't allow for the way the military does things, where you just kind of have like your supervising physician, and then your medics can just go out and do whatever, as long as the
Whatever's
physician's cool with it.
necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fortunately, Tennessee law says that as long as they're acting as a medical assistant, they're operating at the direction of the physician. So
Okay.
in Tennessee, we can set it up so that they're doing the exact same job they did in the military, with the same freedom to practice, with that overhead physician taking care of that.
Right.
Does that, since you are focused on touring, does that affect it if you're actually doing services outside of the state of Tennessee, or is it because you're licensed here and the laws apply?
So COVID really actually, unfortunately, kind of helped us in that we onboard everybody as a family practice patient. And so because you're a family practice patient, even though you're in Georgia, because you've already been seen by our provider,
Which
you
is-
can you can use our medical
Got it.
staff anywhere in the world, because part of our
concierge.
part of
Yes.
our
That's right.
part of our services is this video thing, so that the physicians, like if you say, hey, I'm super sick, and the medic on set's like, I have no idea what this is, we just do a video chat, and you talk to the actual provider, and then the provider does your prescription, and then we get it for you. And so that's how we do that internationally.
Yeah.
So by doing that, that allows you to kind of operate the same way you did in the military.
Yep.
Nice.
Which no other company does.
Right.
You heard it here first.
Well, that's one of the innovations out of COVID that's happened with a lot of different styles, and how you can, I mean, the workforce in general has changed, but also how people do business and different laws and stuff like that, which is really fascinating. That's something we didn't learn last time, so yay for us.
Telehealth is how we
Yeah.
get around a lot of that.
Yeah. which we didn't have the protocols or the laws in place pre-COVID.
I mean, we kind of
did, but not like
nobody used it. It was kind of like Zoom. Everybody knew it was there, but nobody actually used it.
Yeah. Yeah. So my dad was in the Air Force, and he said, from being in Vietnam, he said that anytime you see it on TV when somebody's like, "Is there a doctor in the room?" He's like, 100%, I'm not going to yell doctor. I'm going to ask for a medic. Because if somebody is a medic, they're going to be able to do whatever the heck I need. So that's always stuck with me. So it was cool to hear that y'all do that. That's a great model to keep those veterans together. Because it is interesting to me, and we talked a little bit about it, but how you just recognize other military people. They just carry themselves different.
Yeah, it's either the hat, the watch. Most service members have a beard when they get out, or tattoos. I don't know. There's just that
belt,
aura,
the
right?
polo.
It's just
the haircut.
I like to say it's just their frequency, right?
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. I guess we're all on the same frequency. I'm not sure.
I can attest that there's strength in structure for me. Like I handle life way better when I'm in structure. When I'm not, I get it. So I think that's as we said before, it's a brain thing. Like it's just that's what we need sometimes. So
we've talked a little bit about your business, but this is obviously locally owned Murfreesboro. So what's your tie to Murfreesboro?
Grew up here.
Yeah.
Unicorn. Yep. Grew up here. Went to Black Fox, Northfield, Central Middle when it was still a thing.
Woo!
And then Oakland, and then was the first graduating class out of Siegel High School back in 2004.
So you moved in as a senior and graduated in 2004. Is that right?
At Siegel, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
My connection here is through my wife, my lovely wife. She went to MTSU, and I started dating her halfway through whenever she was when she just turned as a junior there. And so I would just drive all the way down here and hang out with her, and then that's my tie to Murfreesboro, and I love it down here. It's grown a lot.
A lot. Can't emphasize a lot enough. Now, you went to MTSU as well.
Mm-hmm.
So go blue, true blue.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All of my education is in Murfreesboro, so we'll just leave it. Good or bad.
It's great to hear.
I had the privilege of hearing Dr. McPhee speak about how much MTSU has grown. So it's certainly a great pride to be a graduate of MTSU.
My goal is to get my nephews here.
Oh, okay.
To MTSU.
That's a good goal. Especially,
You can live with me.
Oh, there you go. And try to find a parking space on campus. That's a win.
Gosh.
Go get drivers. I'll drive them.
Oh, drivers are amazing. Agreed. So talking about the business, I'm going to touch on the fact that you said that you toured with Green Day.
Oh, yeah. They just nonchalant.
Yeah.
He was on tour with Green Day.
And I asked this before, and I'll ask it. Is Billy Joel Armstrong as amazing as I think he is?
Yes, absolutely. The whole band. The whole band. They're all super awesome. They're great. They're phenomenal to work with. They're very down to earth. They don't have that better than thou
I love
attitude. They're super awesome.
I love it. So back to the business. If we like to talk about struggles and wins, because I believe that small businesses, that we all struggle with a lot of the same things. So what would you say is the biggest struggle for Grace Concierge Medicine?
Trying to get the word out about what we do.
Hey, I'm Missy. Can I help you with that?
Yes, that would be great. The other thing is that in this area, there's a lot of like union medic kind of stuff that happens. And so producers don't necessarily, they think that they're just hiring a paramedic. What they don't understand is that the paramedic that they're hiring doesn't work for a hospital. They don't have a physician. So yes, they're there, but if they ever actually had to do anything, it's not right.
You still have to go to the ER.
Well, I mean, even if you broke your leg right here, I'd probably still have to take you to the ER. But I have medical malpractice, so I have insurance. I have physician coverage. And so the work I'm doing is legal.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have physician coverage, if you don't have a hospital, and you don't have that insurance, I mean, it's just like life. You can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
But how long can you do it before it comes back? And so they've just been doing it. But the problem is they've just been doing it that way
Right.
for so
Out of
long.
necessity.
That just trying to explain to them, like, hey, I'm not trying to put anybody out of a job, but I am trying to protect people.
Right.
And so in order to protect them, you kind of get the word out that, hey, these guys aren't really operating.
Right.
Worst case scenario. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to say, also what we hear a lot is the term sleepy medic on set.
Oh.
So so I don't know if that's because they don't have anybody overhead to say, hey, don't do that.
Right.
But I will say that we do get that a lot, or we hear that from people whenever we're talking to them about the medics that they have had.
Yeah.
And so that's not right.
There's no structure involved.
Yeah,
no
you shouldn't be
oversight.
Exactly.
But,
you shouldn't be sleeping on set or just hiding in a corner or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's why we like veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We're especially the ones that are with the Marines, right? We both have been, and so we know that dual chain of command, right?
Yeah.
And then so we can go talk to, like, our medics can talk to us, and then they go talk to whatever the producer is, right?
Yeah.
And so and be respectful, and then we know how to be there,
Right.
you know, and not just hide in a corner.
Right.
Without being in the way.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and we touched on it a little bit the first our test run, but you said and do the math, like how you went on tour and how many incidents where they would have had to go to the ER.
So that was how the company was created, was out of that.
Yeah.
So short version, got hired by a COVID compliance company to do medical work for Green Day on tour. Halfway through the tour, found out there was no medical malpractice,
Right.
no physician overhead, none of the stuff that a medical practice needs. So I called my wife, called some friends that are doctors and PAs. We started Grace Concierge Medicine, went and talked to Green Day, and we're like, hey guys, listen, we are now a medical practice. This is how we're doing things. And so had roughly 180 patient encounters in 30 days.
Okay.
Of those 180, I would say probably anywhere between 20 and 30 would have left or been left behind because they went and sat at an urgent care or an ER for so long that the tour has got to, it's got to keep going.
Yeah.
And if it happens during loadout, we only got 2 hours before you got to be on a bus and off to the next place. I don't know any emergency room that's going to treat anybody in 2 hours and then have them on their way. And so by having a medic on set, you're able to treat that, but then not only treat it the next morning once everybody gets off the bus, follow up with them, and then there's that continuum of care, and you're able to monitor them like, okay, hey, maybe this is, maybe this isn't, and then, oh, hey, let me just call my physician. Hey, doc, this is what's going on. Okay, now they're fine, just leave them alone, or hey,
Watch for this.
Yeah. And so that was really kind of the
180 instances, of which 20 to 30 of them would have been like derailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's saving countless dollars and man hours, really.
Yeah. And you said hotel rooms because you got to stay overnight, and then a plane to get to the next.
That person on tour, and then you have to hire
Yes.
someone else.
So it might be a little
fly
more
them
expensive,
in.
but it's how much you're saving on the whole other side.
Right,
Yeah.
and
that's just a 30-day tour.
Yep, and then the mindset for people is completely different. So when you have large groups of people, 50, 60, 100 people, and there's no medical support, everybody's a little more conservative, they're a little slower, like, because there's no who's going to fix this.
Yeah.
And so by a medic being there, even across the military, Army, Navy, Marines, if they know there's a medic on hand, they're a lot more willing to do greater things, higher level tasks, because they know that if they get hurt, somebody's there to take care of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not acting gingerly or taking their time or, so increase production.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very cool. That is,
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I go on tour? Field trip.
Yeah, let's go.
telling you.
An assistant.
Yeah.
Not a
I'm
medical
really
assistant,
funny.
an assistant. We could do podcasts on the road.
No, let's not do that.
Oh yeah, you'll fall off a ladder.
I'll fall off a ladder or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. But you'll have contact.
Yeah, but you'll have medical support.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
So if you fell off the ladder, we could just fix it for you. And you can just keep working.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I was out for like 2 days.
Well,
That's
Kenzie
true.
and I can go. Hi, Kenzie.
There you go, Kenzie. Kenzie will come to the rescue if Missy falls off a ladder. What about wins? Let's celebrate wins. What's some of the biggest wins that you've had? And
So
it's past the 15th, so.
So, actually, one of our biggest wins is so I will say for our test run, I had the date wrong.
Oh.
So it is coming out in 2 weeks. So you can catch us in Music Rose edition.
In charge edition.
Yeah, in charge edition.
Okay.
We're announcing a partnership
Ooh.
with somebody. So it's going to be. There's a lot of great things that are to come from it. And what's good about him is that basically, we're not a replacement for health insurance.
Right.
So by partnering with somebody that can do that for musicians, that's a win-win all across. And anything that is a win-win is great in my book.
Absolutely.
So you guys be sure to check that out.
So
and
2
and I
weeks.
will get you a copy of it.
Yeah.
2 weeks. In charge edition, Music Row. Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Well,
I don't know
aren't
what
we
you're talking
glad
about.
we didn't put that
Yeah,
episode
that
out?
was kind of, yep. What about
a
you,
huge-
John? What's a big win for you?
I think our biggest win as a company is our people. I know that sounds kind of cliche.
It does
No.
not sound
But-
cliche.
Before I met Garrison, I had never really thought about doing the training. So getting him on board and expanding into that. Our COO, Kirby, bringing him on, he actually is an educator. And so
Nice.
bringing that portion of it of like, hey, don't forget about teachers and their need for learning how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that teachers didn't, but the way of the world today is that it would be better if every teacher knew how to put on a tourniquet, right?
Yeah.
And so he has really advocated for the education community and us being able to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then our most recent addition is Aaron, who's he's a firefighter paramedic with Nashville Fire. And so helping us get into the Nashville community, the firefighter community, and just to be able to support them and say, hey, what do you guys need? What kind of training do you guys need? What would be beneficial for you? And so helping them get through that. And then my wife is a hospice nurse, and she has been running most of this behind the scenes, making sure that we put everything on our calendars. And she's for sure been the mom in the background going, boys, did you do your homework?
Oh, I love it. Amanda, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Amanda.
I remember. Way to go, Amanda. Keep them straight. Keep them straight. That's awesome. Yeah, that one of the things that I refuse to believe is that that's cliche, because when you work for a corporation, sometimes you feel like a cog, but when you work for a small business, you're part of the family.
Sure.
It is
100%.
so important. It is so important to have the right people on board. So kudos. That's a big win, 100%.
Yes.
And training, R&D. Yeah, I didn't.
R&D. We kind of picked R&D though because I love networking, so I'm able to research the networking.
There
right?
you go. There you go. Okay. Okay. Well, that and learning about Kirby too. That's awesome. As I'm married to an educator, and yeah, it's very important. He's the guy that runs into the trouble. So yeah, let's schedule some time to get out down to Smyrna High School, shall we?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, what is, from everything that you told us, what is one thing that you wish people knew about Grace Concierge Medicine?
That we existed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I know that you talked about, like, it's a very small, like, there's sometimes union medics. Is it, like, networking where you would actually, like, get more clients, or is it just finding the right person? Like, how does that process work? Because I know that, like, music industry is, like...
Yeah, I
Music
think it
industry,
would-
yeah, it's super close. It's a little bit of everything, I think. The
Yeah,
net-
especially with the music industry, it's so tight knit, right? You have to meet somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody who's their ex brother that's twice removed or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a very small community, or I wouldn't say a small community, but it's very tight knit. It is its own niche, right? So breaking through that has also been a struggle and a win. So I think that's
Just trying to get the word out that, it doesn't have to be the same. There are better ways.
Just because it's always been done that way doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
And that also pertains to our training too. Like, I wish people knew that you need to be proactive and be prepared for whenever that day comes.
Right.
Whether it's getting training on just a tourniquet, or you get our individual first aid kits, and they have tourniquets, chest seals, gauze, and then learning all the tools that are in there to save a life. Mm-hmm. That is hugely important. I don't care if you're a teacher, a construction worker, if you're
an event planner,
if you're a truck driver. Things can happen at any time,
especially for the event planners.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what are we gonna do if the bride passes out?
Yeah.
What is our casualty collection point? Where are we taking these people? Where is the ambulance going to come? We just going to walk the gurney down the aisle, or are we going to move the bride? Like, how are we going to do this?
Right.
There's nothing worse than having your friend that's hurt and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
that is certainly from our test run. It has certainly made me think, well, what happens if somebody falls down the stairs, or what happens if? So do you guys do events?
Yes.
Well, I think also a training for event people, like that are, what can we do, or who do we need to staff? Because like I do events on site too, and it's like, but we don't necessarily think about that I haven't thought about it. It's like we kind of default to the venue that they have something in place, but that's not always the case,
Then, also if we're there on set, and say I think your first level of reducing liability is the training, right? So we have our training classes, which is we have the tactical combat casualty care, and we have 3 tiers of that: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. There's very different, and then we have our stop the bleed class. So that's just basic stopping the bleed, gauze, and tourniquet. But you reducing the liability on you or the venue or whoever's organizing it if you have training. And then secondly, you reduce it by having us there, right?
Right.
So you're able to essentially push it off on us. If somebody falls, then they're not going to try to sue you because you had nobody there.
Well, one of the things that like our medics are trained to do is kind of like advance the medical. So say we come out and we're doing an event for you. They're going to work with you on like, okay, if somebody falls, where do you want the ambulance to come? We're going to make recommendations, like if it's in this house, like, hey, let's use this bedroom. If anything bad happens, we're just going to bring all of the injured here. We're going to do whatever. And then that way they go ahead and set that plan in motion. So if something bad does happen, you're free to control your chaos, and we can handle the medical support, because we already know where the ambulance is going to be. We already know where the people are. And so that it gives you the ability to then control the guest, control the situation, and let us kind of do that.
There's always contingency plans from my perspective, a virtual aspect. We're always like talking about, well, if the camera feed goes down or the speaker loses connection, what do we do? And who do we contact? But why don't we do that for medical
I
stuff,
used to
or like someone getting hurt?
I do consider myself a catastrophist. Like I have what I call my Hermione bag. If something goes wrong, I can reach in and pull out whatever I need. But that's you put in my brain a whole new level of catastrophe to I got it.
Cool.
Planning is everything. I mean, you plan how to get gas when you're on a road trip, right?
Sure.
Oh, it's so simple.
You just asked 2 girls that question.
I feel like I plan when we gonna eat.
I do. I do
thing,
organize my trip around where the closest Costco is, because that's the cheapest gas. So.
Oh, interesting. So she plans.
Well, here shortly you'll be able to start planning all your trips around Buckys.
Negative. It's not going to happen.
The massive gas station.
Not going to happen.
Or the Waffle Houses, because they're everywhere.
Well, that's every exit. So,
Hey, I finally went to a Bucky's a couple months ago, and my wife walked in there, and we were both like, oh my gosh, it was packed.
It was like Walmart meets.
Best bathrooms, though.
No, dude, here's what happened. I am sure that those guys are phenomenal guys. I've never met them. But I think they walked into a Cracker Barrel, and they were tooling around the toy section, and they said, let's see what we can do with this.
I agree. It's like a Walmart meets a Cracker Barrel, 100%.
You walk into
Plus a
Buckys.
gas station.
Yes. What if we added 700 gas pumps?
Hey, that is awesome.
And barbecue.
That is awesome.
Yes.
I love all
I
the
haven't
gas
been to
pumps.
Bucky's, but I intend to go very soon.
Yowzer.
Anyway, sorry to get you guys off
Field
topic.
trip. Hashtag support local everything. There we go. How about that?
Hey, you're supporting the people who work there locally,
Yeah.
that are local
There you go.
residents.
Absolutely.
And they do have a ton of people that work there, and I will give them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are
It's-
we?
It's time to pause and hear a word from our
Speaking of
amazing
local.
sponsor. Cultivate Co-working is a welcoming community offering an alternative office space for independent workers, freelancers, nonprofits, and small business owners. Our goal is to help small business owners and independent workers grow their business and create a useful, lively network of like-minded professionals in the Murfreesboro area. Visit cultivatecoworking.com for more information. Thanks, Cultivate Co-working. Now it's time for our Cultivate Co-working This or That segment. This is where it's at. Thank you, Black Sheep. The choice is yours. All right. We've got our
rapid fire questions. We ask you this or that, and you answer as you should. Test the waters or dive in the deep end.
Dive in the deep end.
That.
That
air guitar or air drums.
Guitar.
Guitar.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I don't have any rhythms, so me doing the drums would be terrible.
guacamole or salsa.
Salsa.
I'm going to say salsa.
I'm gonna say guacamole salsa.
Hey, that's a good combo.
Guacamole is, you guys can have that. You guys can share
I
that.
say cheese dip. No, I'm just kidding.
Queso. Yeah, why was queso not a choice?
Because
That's a no-brainer. And then the last
I forgot we're in
question
the South.
is hopefully a this or that question. If you could travel with any band or artist, who would it be, John?
Any band?
Yeah.
dream.
Go back out with Green Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you listen to them before?
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. It would either have to be someone older or newer. So it would probably be like Morgan Wallen, because I do like Morgan Wallen, or like Alan Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
You can tell. I'm gonna tell everybody what he really thinks. You ready?
I don't know.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, no.
That's okay. Everyone wants to tour with Taylor, I think. Just to
No.
see. I just want to see how it is. Like behind the scenes.
To be honest, I would want to see how everybody is behind the scenes. Like, I just want to
Yeah.
know that you're really
a field
good.
trip.
Like, mine is 100% hands down Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Foo
Yeah.
Fighters.
Okay.
Like, I want to know, but then if I find out that Dave Grohl's not as amazing as I thought he is, then I'll just be like, I'm out. See y'all later. Find somebody else.
Mine's interesting. Andrea Bocelli.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
that exciting face, John. Okay, that sounds awesome.
Not hating, but why?
I just think like his music, his voice is really powerful. So to hear it in a live setting would be awesome. Because when I listen to it on the stereo, it's like, okay, I'm really like moved by it. But I wonder if, I don't know, they always say live is harder. Like, I don't know, it's not, there's not many great live people. And
Sure.
so I just want to experience it
Yeah.
from that.
I will say that from my experience with Green Day is it's all live. They don't pre-record
Yeah.
and then
Right.
like those guys put everything
Yeah.
into a show.
Well, and I thought about Foo Fighters when I think about Grace Concierge Medicine, because he did half a tour on a throne in a cast,
yeah.
and the show never stopped. Like, he was just like, he even continued performing when he knew he broke it.
Yep.
And it was the adrenaline, and when the adrenaline was over, he was like, oh yeah, something's wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, he played for like something like another hour or 2 hours
Yeah.
after he broke his
Wow.
leg.
Yeah, beast mode. Yep. And his mom's a teacher, so he was raised right.
You hear that, Dave?
Yeah.
Because we know him first name
Yeah, I'm
basis.
sure he's
Yeah.
listening, Dave.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so how do we find out about Grace Concierge Medicine?
We're on every social
Like it.
platform.
Yeah,
You forgot it this week. Haha, it's not just me. Pause.
Oh,
Now it's time for
the Be Present Nugget of Wisdom.
I felt so bad last week because I forgot it, and this week she forgot it. So it's
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, when you watch the video, it'll make more sense.
noted.
Okay.
Okay.
Belief precedes success.
Absolutely, 100%.
Three words that are so powerful.
Yep.
Belief, and I'm going to argue discipline too.
That's the veteran in you.
That's
Well, you know,
True.
it's
Consistency, discipline. I mean, you got to wake. I mean, just because you wake
Yeah.
up every day doesn't mean you're actually doing anything.
Yep.
No, and you
motivation
can't-
goes out the door. You know, motivation comes and goes, but discipline is that is your consistency.
Do you think
Yeah.
you can teach discipline?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
Okay, I'm ready for class. Let's do it.
Teach by example.
That's important.
Yeah.
I got.
I also
I
think
got all-
resilience is a.
I got all the heart in the world. Discipline's tough because I'm like
Mhm.
bing, 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 bing all over the place.
Really?
Discipline stuff.
I mean, if you kind of think about it, when you hire a coach, that's what they're helping you do. They're helping you
Yeah.
have that discipline, like
That
even in
discipline
Yep.
habit.
Mhm.
You're going to do something every single day, and it's
Yeah.
going to turn into a habit, and then you don't need motivation anymore,
Yep, that's what I need.
and that's how you get successful with everything.
so we need to add coaching to our.
That's
Seriously.
right.
No, but I mean,
Grace
that's what- as
concierge
you-
coaching.
I mean, I envision that too as people scale. Like, you're not always going to be doing the doing, right?
Mhm.
Like, you're going to be
Right.
coaching the people that are doing it, and you move up in the.
Sure.
You're
Yeah.
not doing
Absolutely.
the doing. That makes
doing
sense.
the doing.
You're teaching
Makes
the doing.
most.
That should be next week's wisdom pearl of wisdom.
cheering. I'm cheering on the doing. How about that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now Garrison, would you please tell us how can we find Grace Concierge Medicine on all the
Sure.
interwebs?
Sure. So we're on every social media. It's going to be an @Grace Concierge Medicine / Concierge Medicine or GraceConciergeMedicine.com. You
Okay.
can find us anywhere. Everyone, please reach out to us for any of your medical needs.
Yeah, and for those of you who struggle, Grace Concierge will be spelled out in the description of our podcast.
I think concierge, seriously. Not Grace, concierge.
Yes, concierge will be spelled out for those who need it. Well, thank you guys.
It took me a while. Whatever. I was like, okay, concierge.
I before E except after C, but it's like
There's two
This is-
C's.
C's.
Oh, it was. I was like,
Oh
dang
yeah,
it.
I did not pick an easy to spell name. It was-
Can you spell thesaurus? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
A lot of things we
tourniquet. Oh.
do. Yeah, right. A lot of things
Oh,
we
yeah.
do is we're doing just GCM. Like whenever we do like
Yeah,
posts or something,
100%.
GCM. 'cause
STP, spread the positive. STP, WGC, Wild Goose Chase.
No, I don't have an
No,
acronym.
just be connect.
I don't
Connect.
have-
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming back. For being our second guinea pig, our first live show.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
we'll be
all
here
of the,
again
thank you for
next
doing all of the things.
And from this point forward, it's Locally Owned Murfreesboro Podcast with Jon and Garrison.
That's right.
Yes.
We'll be here next week, y'all.
And all the outtakes will just be the other episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm excited to see what all happens with you guys. 100%.
Yes.
Like I have really enjoyed getting to know like what you guys do, and it's just a whole nother level of thinking for me as an event planner
Yeah.
too. So we need to
And
talk.
we'll be
Yeah, do you guys want to talk to my wife?
Yep.
Miranda,
yeah.
Nashville Dream Events.
Yep, we got to get her in
And
here too.
we'll definitely be prepared for a 6-month checkup.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah.
not 3 months.
Yeah, let's
Or
make it-
3 week or
let's-
whatever.
Let's
So
keep
this-
it on schedule this time.
Yeah, it was the 1 week checkup. So far, we're doing okay.
Yep, well, everybody's
in 6
still
months,
here.
we gotta. It's the discipline. We gotta check. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We're so excited that we're where you can see us now. So we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
y'all.